did that for me because see, I was on the path. I was doing what God had called me to do. See, faithful is he who calls, for he also will do it. See, that's why you want to discover your purpose while you're single. You want to get rid of those distractions because see, if you get rid of those distractions and just sell out to God, you're going to discover that with the call comes the resources. God will equip you with whatever you need when you answer the call, when you do what God is telling you to do. Hallelujah. And do you know what else happened? Do you know what else happened? I'm telling you that while I was doing that, I didn't know that while I was serving God like that, I was being introduced to my husband. At that time, he was not available to be my husband. I wasn't thinking that I would ever be married to him. He wasn't thinking that he would ever be married to me. We were brother and sister in the same local church. I referred to him as Mr. Adebayo, sir. How are you, sir? So good to see you. How are your wife and children, sir? I served with him. He led prayer on one night. I led prayer on another night. I was friends with his wife. I didn't know. He didn't know that one day he would be a widower, that his wife went home to be with Jesus. He didn't know that. I didn't know that. But God knew that. And so all that time, Mr. Adebayo had an opportunity to get to know Deborah Powell. My name was Deborah Powell at the time. He got to know me. He got to see the kind of woman of God I was. He got to observe my love for God. He got to observe my passion for God. He got to see me. And so when God spoke to him about me, it was easy for him to come into agreement with that because see, I was in place. I was doing what God wanted me to do. I was answering the call, and God knew the beginning from the end, and so God he knew me. When God said pursue me, he knew me. He knew the woman of God I was. He knew the quality of my character. He knew my passion for the things of God. That's why, people of God, don't ever make decisions based on what you see. You need to do what God says. Faithful is he who calls, for he also will do it. And if you will get on that path of productivity, if you will get on that path that allows you to bear forth fruit and bring forth fruit, you may not see anything in the natural. It may not look like anything is happening, but see, you don't know the beginning from the end. You don't know how things are going to work out. You don't know who's going to come into the picture. You don't know, but God knows, and he knows how to bring things to pass. And so during your season of singleness, when God has called you to be productive and God has a specific path and a specific plan for your life, stay yielded to that. Get out of that double-minded of being, I didn't say God doesn't want you to have a relationship. See, when I tell you that, some of y'all say, well, you just don't want me to be with nobody. No, you lying on me. That's not what I said. I didn't say that God didn't want you to be with anybody. I said don't focus on that. Focus on God and let God bring you the somebody. If it's somebody for you, you ought to let God bring them to you. You do what God tells you to do, and you let God equip you with whatever you need, and that would include a mate if you need one, in order to do his will. Hallelujah.